Hello everyone and welcome to our holiday special of Parade of Paws. I'm Officer Thomas Anderson of the Casa Grande Police Department, and with me here today is Animal Control Officer Lisa Hartwell of the Animal Care and Adoption Center. Hello Lisa.
Hi.
So today we are going to discuss quite a few of safety topics, especially that have to do with the holidays, and before we do that though, we'll begin with our animals. Our dogs or cats up first today?
We're going to start with dogs first today, which is, of course, my favorite part. And we're going to showcase some of the dogs that are maybe easily forgotten when somebody comes through the shelter. A lot of times people are looking for the little fuzzy ones, the small ones, the purebreds, and we do have those. We have the purebreds and we have all the fuzzy ones, but I'm going to show some of the ones today that are just as equally great dogs, if not better. Some have really good manners, but just maybe just a little, you wouldn't suspect it. So we're going to start with Dumplin. Now he doesn't quite fit the bill that I just said. He's a little wild man and very athletic dog, and this is Dumplin. Dumplin is a Queensland Heeler mix, and he's got the beautiful blue merle color. As you can see by his body, he's very athletic. He is about 2 years old. He's male, and we call him Dumplin because he was found by a dumpster, so Dumplin sounds better than dumpster, so we call him Dumplin. He's a good boy. He needs a yard, he needs kids, he needs where he can run and play. Very inquisitive and very active.
Although we named him Dumpling because of being found near a dumpster, their names can be changed by whoever might want to adopt them.
We have to give them a name, especially for the vet. We can't go Dog 1, Max 1, Sam 1, Sam 2, Sam 3. We give them something, and sometimes we get very creative around here and kind of crazy and a little bit silly sometimes. So we always accept suggestions of names. Okay, Dumpling, come on.
And our next dog up will be Bennie, and although Bennie is more of a normal name, you'll see that some of our dogs' names are quite festive for the holiday.
This is Bennie. He is a lab mix, good sized dog, not too huge. Bennie, can you sit? Bennie knows a few things. He is great on a leash, and he loves to go for walks. He knows sit, and he's, you can see, not too rambunctious. He's a very quiet dog. He's not a real barker or anything like that. And you know, he'd still be a good house dog even though he's medium size. He's still a great size dog. He is, Bennie is 4 years old. So another one that's not a puppy, but still knows some things out of the puppy chewing stage, out of the tearing up your house stage, just wants to be your companion. That's Bennie. Come on, Bennie.
Now our next dog up, I met him outside earlier, and he is truly what you're going to describe him to be, which is a hugger. And his name is Rudolph, also known as Rudy.
Here's Rudolph. Come here, Rudy. He is a very active lab mix, as labs will be. He is a lover. He likes to give it up, give you hugs. Come here, handsome. He's a good boy. He's about 2 years old, right? And we'll tell you that everything leaves the shelter when you adopt it, spayed or neutered. Their distemper parvo shots, their rabies shots, their city license, and a dewormer. So everything goes out the door with all the first year main things taken care of. That's Rudy.
And our next dog up is Chance, and there must be a reason we call him Chance.
Okay, Chance is a 7-year-old. Can you sit? Good boy. Chance is a 7-year-old lab mix, maybe even border collie in there, looking at his coloring, or some cattle dog. We found out that Chance has a microchip in him that goes back to a shelter in Illinois, and he was actually adopted a year or so ago from an Illinois shelter. We don't know how he ended up here or why he was left on the streets, but somebody found him and brought him into us, and he needs a second chance. 7-year-old dog, a lot of life left, you can see. Okay, buddy. There you go. Okay, Chance.
So it's about that time of the show, Lisa, that we have some eggnog. Did you happen to bring any eggnog for us today?
I'll bring you some eggnog. Come here. Oh, it's not as anxious. Come here, buddy. This is Eggnog. He is our best guest, a cattle dog mix. Come on, buddy. Can you sit here? Look at everybody. He's put your ears up. Put your ears up. He's 1 year old. He's about a year old. He's still very shy, but when you have him out in the play yards with the other dogs, he is just all puppy. He plays and runs. Turn around here. There you go. So he'd be a great family dog, somebody that he hasn't had much training yet. And so somebody that wants to start with a dog with their family and maybe do a little bit of work with them, mold them to make them your own. Let me see if I can get you a shot of his face. There you go, Eggnog. You say hi. There's his ears. Okay, that's what I was after. Okay, come on, buddy. All right, these ones I think I can put up here and take a breather. This is Click and Clack. We got a brother and a sister. They are Shih Tzu Terrier mixes. Cute little dogs. Just not very big shedders from what I can tell anyways, but they are probably going to be just this size, won't be much bigger. They don't have to go together. They can go separate or they can go together. But they are truly bonded. So this is the female, little Clicker, and this one's Clack. And he's very timid right now.
This would be a good time to share with you all that, we've talked to people in the community here and there about the show here, and they ask sometimes why the dogs look so nervous, or any of the pets look so nervous when we display them here. Well, they're not used to being displayed. They're very friendly and they love to play and be around other people and be sociable, but they're not used to being set up on a table in front of a camera, of course. But that's how we get them out here to show to you. So don't mind them looking a little timid here on the show. I promise you they won't be that way with you.
Yep. It's best to come down to the shelter and take a look at them and really get a feel for their personalities. We have a break room that we can do meet and greets inside, especially if you have another animal that you want to meet with them, or 3 play yards outside that we can always meet and greet with and just see if we get the perfect dog for you and your family.
And Lisa, it's probably, correct me if I'm wrong, it's probably a good idea if you're thinking about coming to adopt one of our pets here to come down, bring the family members that are in the home, so that everyone can meet the pet. Yeah,
especially if you've got children. A couple of those bigger dogs, they'd probably be good with maybe elementary school children, but maybe might be a little overpowerful for a toddler. So it's best to see, who blends well together, and then and especially if you've got another dog in the family, we always want to have them meet, make sure they all are compatible.
And is our next dog up Miss Marlee?
Yes, Miss Marlee, okay. And this is one of those big dogs, like I was just talking about, that maybe would be better for a family that's got elementary school children. I was thinking Molly. I was thinking Molly, but this is Marlee. Now, Marlee hasn't been with us very long. Come here, sweetheart. Marlee's mama loved her so much that she gave her up because she's in an apartment and decided she didn't have enough room and time for her in her apartment. So she did the right thing and is going to let her get rehomed so she can find a new home. She's only been with us this week, so she's still very nervous, and it takes them a few days to get to know us, and that we're not going to hurt them, and that we're just getting them out and playing with them and loving on them. Oh, this is Marlee. Our best guess on her, she's only about 6 months old, but our best guess is a lab mix, maybe husky mix or collie mix in there. Definitely a mixed breed. She's still going to probably grow a little bit and fill out.
Will she get much bigger? Or?
I don't think she'll get much taller. I think she'll fill out a little bit more. But medium to large size dog. That's Marlee. Okay, sweetheart, come on.
So next up we'll meet Molly, right?
Now there's Molly. Molly has no idea that she is a big dog. She thinks she's just a puppy like Click or Clack there. She has no idea of her size. And with the big dog size comes special needs. It's something that you've kind of got to think of when you're deciding on a pet, but she will need a big yard. So far, we haven't found a companion for her that she is real fond of. I'm not saying she's mean to the other dogs, but she just kind of prefers to be on her own so far. I think she's just spoiled and wants all the attention to herself, really. She'd be a good lap dog for somebody. She is a Mastiff mix, and I believe we've got her about 2 years old. 2 years old. So this is Miss Marlee.
I noticed that, of course, every time we display a dog to our viewers, that you all have leashes here that you use. When someone comes to adopt a dog, should they bring their own leash? And
We have everything they need here. We do like to send them out the door with a collar and a license tag on, because that is their ticket home if they are to get lost from you. And it is required by law that your animal has a current rabies vaccination and that they have a current city license on. So every dog should have a collar on. We do have ones we can supply and give you leashes, and everybody goes home with the leash here. But that's part of your dog's clothes. It should be with them all the time. So she's pretty calm. She's actually pretty calm for a big dog. She's a good girl. Be a good watchdog in somebody's yard. She'd look really good out there. Okay.
So one more dog left, and I believe to stay with the festive occasion,
Come here, hands.
you've named him appropriately.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to pick him up. This is Gingerbread Man.
Gingerbread Man.
Little Gingerbread Man. Gingerbread Man is only about 3 months old. Looking at his teeth this morning, I was surprised. By our guest, he's a golden retriever mix. He's gonna be a big dog. He's gonna be a beautiful big dog, big red dog.
He doesn't seem to have any issue with you treating him like a puppy, though.
No, I think he could
Like a baby.
be held on his back and he'd be just fine with it. But he's a heavy puppy, so I'm going to set him down because he's probably all of 45 pounds already. So another dog that you would want to mold, you can mold and make the way you want it. Teach it. Be a good dog maybe for a teenager or somebody who's just starting with dogs that can do some training. And golden retrievers are generally a pretty smart breed. They're a really active breed too. Okay. But you can see the size of his paws. He's gonna be big. You're gonna be a big boy. Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about the holidays and our pets. There's so much information out there. We share it all the time, but especially around the holidays, there's so many dangers out there for our pets. Can you share any of those with us?
Yeah, most people know about some of the plants, the holiday plants that are toxic to your pets, like poinsettias. Mistletoe is toxic. Some people don't think about some of the other things, though, like, I wouldn't think about the Christmas tree water, especially right after Christmas, when you're taking everything apart from your tree, your house. The dogs, if they go to get that Christmas tree water, usually we put some chemicals in it to prolong the life of the tree. Not good for the animals. And holiday ornaments, of course, people coming in and out of the house. Think about it, the doors are opening and closing. You've got visitors coming. Keep an eye on your pets. Where are they? If they've slipped out, please, please have a collar and tag on them, and so we can get them home. Let's see, and just, of course, chocolates. Everybody usually knows about the chocolates, and the sweets aren't so good for them. Styrofoam, the decoration hooks that hook on the ornaments. Little things like that. Cats especially love the tinsel and anything hanging. So keep all that in mind with your pets. It's not a normal time for them, so they're going to be inquisitive and excited too. So just kind of keep a watch on all that.
Sure. And we feel it's our job to educate you about these safety issues, and we're not going to go into graphic detail or anything, but tinsel and those hooks for ornaments, they can really cause a lot of internal damage for your pets, and you won't know it until it's inside and it's happening. You won't notice that it's happened. It's the same way we always tell people to be careful with their kids around their Christmas trees. It's the same thing for your pets, right?
Right,
Okay.
Most definitely.
Would you like to move on to our cats now?
I think we shall.
Let's do that.
Okay. First one is Mackenzie.
Now, I've already seen these cats, and I know some of them are the size of the dogs, right?
Yes. This one's pretty much a normal sized kitty. This is Mackenzie. She is a tortoiseshell domestic short hair. She came to us spayed already, and she's also declawed on her front feet. So great. Of course, we would like to have all cats stay indoors. Some people in apartments and things like that, they prefer that they are declawed, and that's a preference, personal preference. But this one comes declawed, and she just be a great old cat for somebody. Good size.
She looks like Molly's cat twin.
She does.
Looks exactly like Marlee.
She does.
Right?
I don't know what Marlee would think about that,
No,
though.
I don't think Marlee
I don't
liked it
think
at
we
all.
should try that either. Okay, let's move on.
So our next cat is Flowerpot.
Hartwell is one of our token big cats.
Wow.
They can start off big here, and because they don't get a lot of exercise and a lot of room to move, they get even bigger. I think the last time I weighed Flowerpot, she was 14 or 15 pounds. She is domestic long-haired. She's a female. She's a couple years old, but she also is declawed in her front feet. She's declawed front feet. So you want a bigger size that's declawed. You got her.
Now you have a lot of, you're a very educated person when it comes to animal health. Can you tell our viewers something about declawing cats?
Well, generally when you declaw a cat, you want to do it when they're real young, when they're a kitten. You're really doing some, taking off a good part of the bone and the tip of the toe or the nail there. So it doesn't heal very good when they're a bigger cat. Or an older cat. This cat was probably done real young, which is the way we like it. She doesn't show any signs of missing them or anything like that. But there's also, some people don't like to do that with their cats, and there's some actual alternatives besides trimming their nails. There's some little nail caps you can put on that are different colors, and kind of people get festive with that. They just kind of glue on their toes, and as their nails grow, then they can eventually change those out. And that works really well for some people too.
Going right for the tinsel, as cats
just
do, right?
see there.
Well, I guess for a person thinking about adopting a cat, it's probably a pretty good pro for them to come to a place like our Animal Care and Adoption Center, because the majority of the cats that we have come through here are declawed.
Well,
or many times.
Yeah, many times they are.
Saves someone the trouble of having to make a decision about that.
Right, many times they are, and you don't have to go through all of the after-surgical, treatment or whatever the care you'd have to do there. It's already done, and
Sure.
it's good to go. A lot of our cats come in spayed and neutered already, so
I was
we're
going to
not
say,
gonna
that's the same train of thought when it comes to the other animals and the dogs. Lots of times people want a puppy, but we've got plenty of 2, 3, 4, 5, even older, year-old dogs and cats, or even older than that, that are house trained or potty trained, as we like to call them, that know how to walk on leashes, that obey commands already, that even know some tricks, and that's one of the great upsides of adopting an animal, right?
and won't damage your property.
Right.
Well, thank you, and gives kisses.
All right, so our next cat is VooDoo.
Yes.
VooDoo's not small either.
He came to us in about October, and so that's why we went with the theme of the VooDoo theme. But he is a little bit different because he is what you call a polydactyl. He has extra toes on his fronts. Some cats have like 6 or 7 toes. Usually they have 4, and he's got 5. Also, one thing unique with him is VooDoo came neutered. I didn't have to check him to see that. I knew that because his left ear is tipped. And when there's a cat that comes in and their left ear is tipped, that means the veterinarian has cut the little tip off when they neutered or spayed them. And that way we know if they ever get caught in a cat trap. Some aren't as nice as this one to handle, so it takes the guesswork out of already knowing that they're spayed and neutered.
All right.
Yeah. So that's VooDoo. Another one of our big ones. Another big one. Nubs is a Siamese mix. He's a couple years old. Next, this is how he got Nubs, from his tail. He just has a nub of a tail. More than likely he was born that way. He was left in an apartment with a dog friend and just abandoned and left, and that's how we got Nubs. And we've had him several months now, and he just would love to be out of his cage and get a home where he can roam around again. And he's used to apartments, so why not your apartment? He'd be there.
Kind of a unique color coat.
Yeah, he's kind of the silver point but he's got the pretty blue eyes that Siamese mixes have and Siameses have.
All right, I believe Nubs is the last of our cats, right?
I think we have.
Or I'm sorry,
well, yeah,
maybe we might
he's
have
the last of our
a
big
few
cats.
more, right?
Now we have a surprise, though. We've got a bunch of little kittens. Now they may come out and run. These here happen to all be siblings. So we got some males and females in here. And these guys are all about 10 weeks old right now. We actually have kind of a special going through January, a Christmas holiday special on our kittens and our cats. All of the ones that you saw that are spayed and neutered already, they'll be $10. So even a declawed cat for $10, spayed, neutered, all their shots, same thing, rabies. These guys here would be $30. So any kittens we'll do for $30. We'll get them all vaccinated and spayed and neutered for you.
Do you have any left in the basket, or
I got one
they've
more.
all gotten away from
I got
you
one
almost,
more.
right?
I got one more here.
Very curious little kittens.
This is, of course, the popular thing. People want the kitties and puppies, so we've got them, and it changes every week in here at the shelter. So if you don't see what you like when you come through the first time, then come through again next week.
So those are all of our cats and dogs that we have to showcase to you today. And we've talked about some great safety tips already. One thing that we could touch on one more time, though, a little bit more than we did, was having company and strangers coming over to your house. And you mentioned that doors being left open and maybe your pet getting out. What about just the interaction between strangers, and especially holiday parties, and they bring their kids over and you've got a lot of new children around your pets? Can you give our viewers some advice about maybe what they should tell visitors that are coming over with children?
Yeah, well, it's a high time for animal bites and dog and cat bites. We get a lot of calls for that at that time. You know, your dog or cat may have never acted like it was going to bite somebody, but it might be startled or be nervous, or not like somebody's perfume that they have on, or something that we don't know that animal is not compatible with one of your visitors that comes over. So just plan ahead and put them away. You know, put them in their own room. If you have a crate, have them be in what I always call their room, crate train them. And if they can't be, and if they've got to be with everybody, be with them just like you'd watch a child around a pool. Watch them around the pets. You know, you'd think they're going to be good, but you can't watch everybody all the time. And again, that's when our highest number of animal bites goes up, is around the holidays and people coming in and out. So let's just avoid all that. And then on the same note, when you do have to have them all together, make sure your animals are vaccinated properly for rabies. If an animal does bite, it does need to be quarantined, and it matters a bit whether it has to be quarantined at the shelter or if it has to be quarantined at home, depending on if it has its rabies shot and it's current. So those are some things to think about. Just don't set your animal up to fail. So.
The holiday season is here, and we're mostly talking about Christmas and ornaments and things of that nature, but right after that is the New Year, and with the New Year comes a lot of loud noise and a lot of lights. Right. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Loud noises and lights, yes. I mean, the same thing. It's going to startle the animals. The fireworks on the 4th of July, have the cats and dogs put away. They are so sensitive to it, much more sensitive. There's also some medical products that you can get from your vet that if you know you have an older animal that's very sensitive to the noise, you can help them out. Just kind of think about things like that from their point of view. They won't be used to it, so we need to help them with that way as well. Excellent.
So are there any upcoming events for animal care and adoption?
Always. Right now we are doing our spay and neuter voucher program. The voucher program comes from the license plates that have the animals on them, and it's a grant that we apply for every year. We got the grant again this year, so we're able to help another, I think last year is about 200 pets to get spayed and neutered. It is a program, it's free for the pet. It just requires that you show a current rabies shot or you purchase one for $10 for your animal. So if you're interested in that, you can get the little applications at the Casa Grande Finance on Florence Boulevard, the finance department, or here at the shelter. And just make sure you fill it out really good, make sure all the little points are checks, or everything's, all the boxes are checked, and as much as you can tell us about your animal, because if we don't have that information, it goes to the bottom of the pile and somebody else gets the chance first.
All right. Lisa, you have an upcoming clinic, correct?
Yes, we do. The dog park, which is on Pinal and Rodeo, on Ed Hooper Rodeo Grounds and Paul Mason Sports Park. There's a dog park that I don't know if a lot of people know about. It's the only place in town that legally you can run your pets off leash. There's 2 areas, and one for passive animals and one for animals that get along with everybody else. So if you haven't experienced that, you need to go out there. It's a very nice park. And on February 7th, between 10 and 2 in the morning and to the afternoon, we'll be having our vaccination clinic, our low-cost vaccination clinic, and be offering rabies shots and licenses and other vaccines at a low cost. Pinal County will probably also be there and have a couple people that will be selling for Pinal County as well. So bring your dogs out then. They usually have a mutt show and some other festivities and vendors at that time too.
Great. Lisa, can you tell our viewers how they can get in contact with you here or how they can find the Animal Care and Adoption Center here?
Our address is 202 East 1st Avenue. We are open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. And our phone number is 520-426-9300. It is a voice messaging system. When you call in, it'll go right to a voicemail. So please leave your message as detailed as you can. That way we can get back with you and help you out with any concerns that you have or complaints that you have that we can follow up on. There's only a few of us that are here and some lovely volunteers that come in and help us. So we do a lot by appointment just so we don't miss you, but you're welcome to stop by anytime.
And I know Lisa won't do this, but I will. And there are some great volunteers that work here, and we really want to thank them. There's so many of them that come here every day or every other day or so and help us out here. But I especially want to thank our supervisor here, Linda Garcia, Julie Tiemann, and Lisa here. I know you don't really hear their names very often unless they're the ones co-hosting here, and I want you to know that they do an outstanding job providing service for you in the community and for your pets and trying to get these pets a new forever home. So it's important to get you a little bit of credit out there, okay? There are a few other ways that you can keep up with animals that are for adoption here at the city. One is petfinder.com. Another is our city website at casagrandeaz.gov. Of course, you know our city has a Facebook and Twitter page. You can always keep up with those also. And on behalf of Lisa, Animal Care and Adoption Center in the city of Casa Grande, I want to wish you all a happy holiday season and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.